What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the last week. See how easy that was, Matt? If you enjoyed the Scale News Update, hit the like button and let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, I want to circle back and talk about the VS410 Phoenix portal. It was released last week while I was gone. The worst combination of timing ever, but everything went well and those things have been shipping to customers everywhere. So people are already getting them. Thanks again for Matt for actually getting the scale news done for me while I was gone. It would have sucked to have missed that week of news completely and have that fall on the same time. So again, thanks to Matt for handling the scale news, sending it to me while I was on vacation in Mexico. Everything went well and he did a great job again. The first batch of those sold extremely quickly, so you will have to try and find them at local dealers or online shops that still have them, as there is no more available direct. But until then, you can put your pre-orders in or back order from whatever your favorite retailer is in order to get one on the second round. And as Matt covered last week, there's already some accessories coming out from the aftermarket for the Phoenix portal. Knight Customs already has a number of parts available with roll bars or adventure racks, roof racks, light bars, a bunch of options. But this week he released an FJ style grill to replace the molded one that comes with the Phoenix body. I also saw that Scale by Chris was working on one of these as well. Knight Customs selling the files through his My Mini factory so you can print them yourself. Scale by Chris mainly does pre-printed, so you can either buy those direct or through AMain where he distributes as well. Doesn't appear that Scale by Chris is available yet, so if you don't have your own 3D printer, you can wait until the Scale by Chris one is available, or if you do, then you can go over to the My Mini factory and buy the file from James Knight, print it yourself. And speaking of Knight Customs, this week I saw that he had a new option for the Night Runner, the Element Enduro Night Runner, that Toyota style truck. He released an opening rooftop tent labeled for that. Now, it's not just an opening clamshell for you to throw your spare T-wrenches in. This actually also comes with 2D patterns so you can make your own fabric inserts to make it look like a real rooftop tent. I don't know if my seamster skills are up to this project, but for those of you really looking to make those scale overlanding photos look even more realistic, here's an option from James Knight. And also for that Night Runner, James has now a new multi-piece rear taillight setting. This has a multi-piece design to give that rear taillight some real depth. So it's got a housing and then you print a red insert and a clear one. So you'll need a transparent filament theoretically for this, and it has a really good look to it. This is definitely something that pulls off the look of modern full-size taillights really well. So definitely worth a look. Check that out. James is My Mini factory. Huge number of items, whether it's vehicle specific or, just accessories that will work on multiple vehicles. If you've never looked at it and you have a 3D printer, you're missing out. Links to that, as well as all of this week's stories, will be available in the description below. This week's Scale News Update is again sponsored by Ridge Wallet. I want to thank those guys again for sponsoring the Scale News Update. It's super compact design, holds up to 12 cards, has a money clip option on the back. I've exclusively used a Ridge Wallet for several years already at this point, something that I've always enjoyed. I love the different styles that they have. So even if your wallet's already getting a little lighter going into the holiday season, at least it can look good. Check them out. There's a link to their website in the description below. I also have a discount code where you can save you 10%. Again, thanks to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this week's Scale News Update. A brand new vehicle from FMS was just teased. This is the German Type 82 barrel truck. Now, this is a completely different platform from FMS. We haven't seen this one before. It's not just kind of the same drivetrain restyled. This looks to be totally new and a really unique style. This is styled after the full-size Type 82, which FMS has put together a really nice article kind of detailing the full-size vehicle and the comparison to the actual RC. As of the time that I'm filming this, that page was only available in Chinese. So I believe that the version of that is going to be done soon. But this truck is super detailed, like a lot of FMS's releases lately. This thing looks great. Opening doors, it's a convertible style. The engine in the rear is a VW styled engine, but it's a full separate molded component that sits back there. So it's got all of the realistic style of how it would sit into the vehicle. And this has got the actual rear portal axles that the full-size vehicle did. The bottom side of this vehicle is also scaled to look like the actual Type 82. And the front suspension is even a realistic kind of trailing arm setup. I mean, just an amazingly detailed, cool RC car. Another interesting item on it is that on the website, from the translation that I could read, it appears that the styrofoam molded box or carrying case that they come in, if you're not familiar, FMS vehicles come in like a styrofoam type case normally. Kind of works as a traveling carrier slash the packaging. They open up typically and hold the vehicle and the radio. This is the Jimny, which was a little bit smaller, so everything fit kind of nice and compact in there. But this Type 82, it seems like it's going to be modeled after a German ammo can as well. So taking the scale part and kind of morphing it into that packaging seemed like a really cool detail. This obviously won't be a vehicle made for ultimate performance. This is a realistic scale RC model that if you're into this type of vehicle, then it's going to be a cool option on the market. I'm sure that we'll see more detailed information and pricing, running video, the whole thing very soon. FMS usually follows these things up pretty quickly. It'll be interesting to hear how many of you are fans of this type of scale working RC model, even if it's not going to be the performance, platform of the year by any means. But if you really appreciate this type of RC, I think FMS has got a lot of room ahead of it to keep going with other kind of off the wall models of items that have not been tackled before in RC. Excited to see what next year brings for FMS. Next, the SCX6s are hitting stores. You'll be able to find these now. I've seen a number of people picking them up, and people are starting to get the chance to drive them all over. And I think that that is when these are going to become even more popular, is that once people actually get to see them, get to drive them and experience them, you'll understand that this isn't just a kind of a big body regular RC car. It's a whole different type of driving to run one of these. Definitely worth going out of your way a little bit if you can go see or drive one in person. Even if you're not looking to drop $1,100 on one, I think you'll understand the appeal more once you're able to experience it. And if nothing else, just go take a look at the size of the box one of these things comes in. It's like a dorm room refrigerator. For any of you looking to expand your color options for your beadlock rings, Vanquish released a new color called Plink. Not quite purple, not quite pink, something in the middle. These are available in both the outer 1.9 beadlock ring and the inner IFR. We talked about the IFR system when it was first released, but if you missed that, IFR is a type of beadlock system that allows you to mount this other ring on the inside of it. It does require an IFR ready outer beadlock ring, and then you can choose different colors of those inserts, one of them being the new Plink color. So go check those out. They're on the website now, available if you're looking for a color that's not quite the norm. One no prep story for you this week. The Drag Race Concepts Drag Pack Maxim is available in stores now. This is basically an end-to-end full car chassis kit that you're able to pick up. You just have to add your electronics and such, but mid-motor, full car, everything about it is from Drag Race Concepts. So if you're not looking to start your own research project on all of the parts needed and what goes where and buying this or that, here's a one-click buy option for you that maybe will make you go fast or maybe not, probably, maybe, I don't know. The no prep stuff is definitely still cranking. It's definitely impressive to see those cars and how fast some of those guys are going. The technology in no prep has gone wild, watching guys do what they do to their cars to get them to go to those speeds and so quickly from when it really started catching on in popularity until now. Huge difference. It'd be interesting to see what that does to the popularity of it over the next year or so as the distance between those high level cars and the more entry level cars gets wider and wider. Something that we see in all forms of anything competitive, are just human nature to continue advancing. Always kind of does that. I'll continue to enjoy observing that scene. Really like seeing all of the new products that keep coming out for it. Another new option for you SCX24 owners, Fuhrer Tech has another new brushless combo that you can pick up for those. This is the Lyco Pro. They had a Lyco before, but this is the Pro version now. Now, this is a brushless combo. You can get just the ESC, you can get it in different ways. This system integrates the FOC, or field-oriented control, to try and give you the smoothest setup that you can. It also has a big 2.5 amp BEC, which is very big for a 124 scale car. There used to be 1/10 scale ESCs that had a 2 amp or less BEC inside of them. So no matter what servo you're putting in an SCX24, you're probably going to be just fine. This will run 2S or 3S, which is nice in that scale. And with the Bluetooth module, you can update it and control it from your phone, which is very cool. You can check out that system in the link in the description below. They are in stock right now, which can be difficult with the Fuhrer Tech stuff. So if you're interested in picking up a new system for your 124 scale, good time is now, as a lot of their systems have come back into stock. So check that out. And speaking of in stock, the shipping, or importing more specific, into the US has still been in a pretty stressed or tricky spot. Ships are just piling up outside the coast of California, specifically Southern California, and that is holding up a lot of goods. Some of that could add 1 and 2 month delays to products actually getting to retailers. So depending on how far ahead companies planned, you could see huge shortages of items for this coming holiday season. This week was definitely short on new releases, but this time of year wouldn't be crazy to see a large number of new releases right before, the Black Friday type time, trying to get as much interest in a product before the holiday sales rush. And, this is 1 week. Last week was a super busy week, but this week starting to slow down. Now, that's not a huge sample size, but it will be interesting to see if we see a delayed release of a number of new products. Whether or not that means they just get released closer to Christmas, which isn't ideal, as they would definitely like to have them out before Black Friday timeframe. It's kind of like that goal line, but we could see these moved to even after the new year, just based on shipping alone. There could be all kinds of cool new stuff that you just have to have, but it's just sitting on a boat anchored outside of Long Beach, waiting in some long line to get offloaded before you're ever going to even hear about it. We've been talking about this on the Scale News Update for months already, or I've been talking to myself about it at the very least. But I'll say it again, if there is something that you're thinking about getting for the holidays, either for yourself or for someone else, and it's available now, get it. Do not wait. Get it as soon as possible. Otherwise, there just may not be nearly as many options remaining as you thought there was going to be. In RC or not in RC, prioritize the RC stuff, but get your shopping done. I'm the worst procrastinator, and I may even take my own advice. But that's going to do it for this week's news topics. For this week's question, in advance of the upcoming holiday season that we just talked about, give me your top 3 items that you want for this year. Last year I did my Christmas top 10 list. I'm going to do it again this year, but I want to cherry pick some of the good items from your guys' list, see if I can add them to mine. So put your items in the comments below. Always enjoys reading those. I even read all of them from Matt's question, which was pretty decent too. So thanks again for watching the Scale News Update. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.